Hi ladies, we're going to talk about taxes. Now, taxes can be very confusing, but actually they can be very simple if you just realize there's only 5 things you need to worry about. First of all, there are 3 pluses. Plus is any income you bring in, whether you bring it in for shipping or sales tax or your product, any income you bring in is one of your pluses. The second plus is inventory. Now, inventory is the purchase price of the product. So what you actually paid for it, not what it retails for. And then the third plus is any bonuses or anything you get on your downline card or from Pure Romance. That would be your third source of income. Then there are 2 minuses. The 2 minuses you have to worry about are any expenses that you incur. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And any mileage you drive. Now, mileage, you should be recording how much you drive to go to anywhere, to come to my house for meetings, to go to anything for corporate, to drive to and from these locations. Since you are a work from home type of business, you can write off both to and from your home, which is a plus, big plus. Also, mileage can be if you go to the store and buy pencils, if you go to anywhere to buy any supplies, any hostess's house, any training, that's all mileage that you can write off. Any restaurants that you go to meet somebody to have a cup of coffee to sign them up, anything like that is all good mileage. Now, the expenses can be your cell phone bill, your internet bill, your part of your heat, part of your electric bill, part of your house payment or mortgage or rent. What you would need to do for those though, and if you're using Tax Cut or one of those accounting programs, it will actually do it for you, but you measure off the square footage of your home and then measure off the square footage of what you're using for your office, figure out what percentage your office is of your home, and that's how much you'll get to write off. Now, the other things with expenses, like I said, your cell phone, your internet bill, your computer. If you buy a computer to run your business, you get to write it off. If you buy a monitor or a mouse or a printer or any office equipment whatsoever, office furniture is included, desk, chair, filing cabinet, all of that is all completely included. Also, you can write off food that you buy. Now, food will probably be at a half of what you pay for it when you go on any kind of trip with Pure Romance. If you go to Detroit for any of our trainings, you can write off the food you buy to and from and to eat while you're there. You can also write off food that if you have 2 parties in a row and you have to stop to eat somewhere in between, you can write that off. You can't, however, write off groceries that you brought with you from home. That doesn't quite work. If you are on a trip, however, and it could be worth more to write off the day, what's called per diem or per day. The government will allow you a certain dollar amount per day to write off. And girls, you know we can eat cheap. And it's usually like $35-40 a day. Sometimes the city location allows up to $75 a day. So that's something that you can look up, or you can let your accountant know that you are in a particular city, which would have a higher per diem than like our local areas here. Also, other expenses can include any office supplies, which would be paper, pencils, pens, ink for your printer. All of that's a write-off. You cannot, however, write off kitty cats because they just pop in and pop out whenever they want. You can also write off, office supplies, your shipping, any stamps you buy, any shipping you pay for to ship any products to anybody. You cannot already write off you cannot also write off the shipping from corporate because we're going to just have that as one lump of invoice. You don't want to bother dividing that up. It's not worth it. That would just be a total that I call product. So all of your products that you buy, anything you buy from Pure Romance, PR gear, clothing can only be written off if it has a Pure Romance logo on it. So make sure you get that stuff with the logos, ladies, because that way you can wear it wherever you want and you get to write it off. Also, any training materials, if you buy any books or videos or any kind of training materials you would buy to learn how to do your job better, those are all write-offs. CDs, DVDs, all of it. You cannot write off porn. I know that can be learning for us, but the government frowns upon that one a little bit. Okay, going back to the plus side, the things you're going to be your pluses, which are going to work against your minuses, is every dollar you bring in, every cent you bring in. Now, you don't have to categorize what you brought in for shipping, what you brought in for this. Just lump it all together. I had a party. If you bring home $923.85, and that includes your shipping, your tax, and your games, that's the number you write off. Don't worry about breaking it down. The other plus is inventory. Now, inventory needs to be done at the beginning and the end of the year, so you know how much you had going into the year and how much you had going out. So if you do your inventory December 31st, you have your ending inventory for this year and the beginning inventory for last year. Or ending inventory for last year, beginning inventory for this year. You know what I mean? Anyway, so that's going to take care of your inventory, and you're only going to write off the cost of the product, not the retail value, because we don't know what we're going to sell it for, and any bonuses you get. So, and actually you will get a 1099 from Pure Romance if you purchased more than $5,000 of the product for them during the year, and you'll get a 1099 for any bonuses you receive. So they will provide you with a number you have to write off there. Taxes can be real easy. You've got 3 pluses, 2 minuses, add up the pluses, subtract both the minuses, and you're done. That should be your profit. Now, if you go to an accountant or if you go through one of the tax accounting programs, they're going to want to know a breakdown of your expenses. Now, this is the only one you got to worry about breaking down. But break it down by whether it was for shipping or for travel or for, promotional items or office supplies or office furniture or office equipment. Those are going to be your, and shipping's a big one. Those are going to be your general categories. So kind of keep track what you're spending it for. Now, the government will only need to see receipts for any item over $25. I personally keep them all unless I'm not given a receipt. Sometimes at fast food and stuff like that, you don't get a receipt. Not a big deal. But anything over $25, you will, or under $25, you won't get a receipt for. Taxes, like I said, they can be very simple if you know how to simplify it in your head. Otherwise, you can go kind of crazy. Now, one thing I'll tell you, ladies, if you use my spreadsheets, the profit, the 2016 business, or whichever year it happens to be, the spreadsheet that I provide, that will break all of this stuff down for you. Now, I know that I also break down things like shipping and sales tax and whatnot apart on the spreadsheets. Don't worry, that's just so you can keep track of how much shipping you're actually spending with Pure Romance compared to how much shipping you're actually bringing in. So that way you can easily see that that shipping charge, you're making a lot more money than what is actually costing you to have things shipped from corporate if you're buying smart. Anyway, so that's our tax video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. If you have any questions, you know how to get hold of me. Thanks.